John Dahlia, back with another Team TMC Impact show. And today, a very special guest we have. His name is Cody Cutright. He's our systems engineer who works at NASA, the NASA IV&V Center in Fairmont. He took a sabbatical from work recently, and to do something that a lot of people, might find hard to believe. But he actually took a hike across the Pacific Crest Trail, which is 2,650 miles. He took time off to do that, and it's really a remarkable story. So, Cody, thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to talk to you about this because, frankly, I don't like to hike. So, I run a little bit, and a lot of people do different things, but I couldn't imagine, doing something like this. So, my first question for you is, it's fair to say hiking is more than a hobby. It's got to be. Why did you decide and even want to backpack across this the Pacific Crest Trail? Can you talk a little bit about that, and what was that like, and what motivated you to take this 5-month sabbatical to do this?
Yeah, so hiking the PCT has been on my list for several years. I have several friends in the long distance hiking community who have done the trail. So I've been getting a little bit of trail envy while I see their posts over the years or Instagram photos, a little jealous of it. So I've been waiting for the right moment to get out there and tackle this trail myself. And thankfully, TMC went above and beyond and allowed me to take a leave of absence and then return to a job after my hike. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. And, so I had to do a lot of research after speaking to you about this. So the trip begins at Washington State at the Canadian border, right? So the very top of Washington State. And it ends, near San Diego, California, which is right, the Mexican border, right? The Mexico border. And you told me you I guess you hiked or journeyed or backpacked 2,653 miles. What were some of the high points and maybe even low points of this 5-month journey? I guess the best way to put it. It's quite a thing to do,
Yeah. So
accomplishment, I guess.
the high points, the emotional high point for me was starting at Hart's Pass in Washington, which is 30 miles south of the Canadian border. Yeah. And those first steps as I headed north to touch the Canadian border, I was just so excited. That was just like the whole world was before me at that point. It felt like it was great. The literal high point was Mount Whitney, which is the highest point in the lowest 48 states at about 14,500 feet. So we did a 7-mile side trail to summit Mount Whitney.
Is that in the what High state Sierra. Is that in?
That's in California.
Okay.
So that was fantastic. That was an amazing experience in the High Sierras. As far as low points, honestly, I was injured in Northern California when I touched the border and ended up spending about 5 days off trail in a town. And I was just a little worried that maybe I wouldn't be able to continue. And, I was separated from my friends, my trail family, as we call them. So that was the hardest, I'd say, mentally, was just not knowing if that was the end, if I'd be able to keep hiking.
Wow. What was the injury? Not that I'm kind of digressing from my questions, but it wasn't anything really that serious, was it? Because you continued on.
Well,
or you just suffered through it?
It ended up being more serious than I thought it was.
Wow.
I thought it was tendonitis, likely a stress fracture. Actually, when I finished the trail, I got an x-ray, and it actually ended up being 2 stress fractures, one of which is significantly displaced, but they both healed up. So, yeah, that's a little souvenir, I guess, from the journey.
So now coming full circle, here you are, you're back, you did this 5-month sabbatical, and your experience obviously is, life-changing, it sounds like. How does your passion for the outdoors, this real, kind of desire, interest in hiking and backpacking and really experiencing the beauty of America, I guess. How does that, kind of work toward your current career? You're a systems engineer. You support a handful of projects that really, it's really interesting. It's the John McBride Software Testing and Research Lab at the NASA IV&V Center in Fairmont. I mean, do they, is there a benefit to that experience, and how does it affect your job, or does it affect your job?
Yeah, so my, personal benefit is I find that I really increase my own self-reliance and
Mhm.
self-confidence, and just the ability that I can handle myself in sort of a more a basic level, basic needs, and that drive that and I can push through long slogs of maybe less desirable tasks and accomplish the end goal. For work, I actually find a lot of benefit in terms of being able to connect with people from other centers and side conversations, and
Yeah,
talk about, whether it's I'm talking about the Appalachian Trail, which is near Goddard, or the Pacific Crest Trail, which is near Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And
right.
I can kind of tie in, and that helps me build closer relationships with those teams, and actually kind of enables me to get data faster, turn around faster, and really impacts the projects in a positive way.
And if you have to do any long distance walking at NASA, you can handle that no problem, I guess. Well, thank you, Cody. I mean, what a remarkable story. And and obviously you still are passionate about this, and I think it's great. And I think it's also great that that you had this experience you're bringing back to the job and back to TMC. So thank you so much for joining me. This was really enlightening, and I'm grateful that you told your story to us, and we're excited to tell that story outside of TMC. Well, for Cody Cutright, I'm John Dahlia. Thanks, folks, for watching. This has been your Team TMC Impact. We'll be back again with more in the near future. Take care, everybody.